How are you?
Sad. um, Heartbroken.
Yeah.
You know, the first thing when someone passes, you immediately go through your pictures. So I scrolled back to a lot of the pictures that I had from when we worked together back on The Odd Couple, and just so many memories came pouring back about how kind he was.
Mhm.
And there's been so much talk about his comedy and his ability to lighten loads with his gift, but his greatest gift was his heart. He was the kind of person that when you met him, the Chandler Bing of it, the Matthew Perry of it, entered the room before he did. And he was aware that people would be affected in that way. He did not take himself seriously. He realized that he was extraordinarily blessed.
I'm sorry, who are your friends?
Frank,
Linda.
do you have an extra wig in that go bag?
I think the saddest thing for me, and in talking to my castmates and other people that knew him, I don't know that he ever found peace. You know what I mean? In the midst of every blessing that he had, he knew he was blessed, but I just feel like he just never really settled into peace. And that is heartbreaking to me.
Did you find out about his passing like most of us, from the news, from the media, or?
I got a call from Wendell Pierce, our castmate, and Wendell and I stay in contact often, but we usually text. And so when he called, it was weird because he doesn't call me. I could tell by his tone something was wrong. Wendell's one of the first people I talked to when my mother passed, so I know what Wendell sounds like when he's comforting or bringing bad news. And so when I heard his voice, and then as I'm like, what's going on? That's when the ping, 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 ping started to come in, and all the news things came in and the text started coming in from people. It was surreal.
When did you last talk to him?
I think it was when his book came out. I sent him a text to congratulate him, because one of his greatest joys later in life was that he was able to help people who had been where he was. And I was so proud of him for his sobriety. I was so proud of him for being as vulnerable as he was in his book. So I just told him, you know, I'm happy for you, and I'm glad you wrote this book, and you know, that was the last time we interacted.
One of the things he did say in that book was that he did want to show a vulnerable side, maybe to help somebody else who was continuing to struggle. What did that mean to you?
Those of us that are in the industry, we wear the mask, right? And to admit that you're sad, or to admit that you're struggling, or to admit that you're an addict and you've fallen off the wagon is very difficult. And we, on The Odd Couple, when we were working with Matthew, we had a front row seat to his struggles, and we loved him and we wanted to protect him. And we did the best we could while we were working with him. And for him to come out and admit where he was at that time, to apologize to those his addiction hurt, and to then vow to use what he's learned to help someone else get over, was everything.
Did you ever have to have a hard conversation with him about his struggles?
I never had a hard conversation with him about it, because I knew that he was already hard on himself. All I said to him when he was in the midst of it and we were working together is, I love you, and if you need anything, I am always here. I didn't ever feel like it was my place to say, you need to get yourself together, because Matthew knew that. Every addict knows that. So instead, I wanted to be a soft place for him to land, and a reminder that he was wonderful and we all wanted him to thrive.
I think I remember you also saying then that The Odd Couple was your first offer role. And so for him to have that kind of faith in you as an actress and a person, what did that mean to you?
It meant everything to me, because I was a huge Friends fan, and his comedic timing is second to none. And I still dream of a Friends type sitcom, the type of level of success that they had. And I felt like, because I also believe in stealing from the best. So I was like, I get to be on this set, and I get to watch one of the masters work. You know, it was a great A-list team of people I was working with. I stole from every one of them, but Matthew was like he was the best at it. He was the best.
Do you remember that first meeting with you all? What that was like?
I do. I actually came clean because I had a little crush on Chandler Bing when I was younger.
You still don't think I'm boyfriend material?
Huh?
Saw you checking me out during the game last night.
And so I told him, I said, listen, if you see me staring at you, just understand that I'm having a Chandler Bing moment, and please be kind with me. I said, I understand you're Matthew. I don't think you're Chandler Bing, but I just want you to know that I had a crush on you when I was younger, and this is surreal that I'm here on set with you. And of course, like I said, he loved to make people feel comfortable. He was like, okay, Yvette, it's okay. It's just me. Come over here, sit with me. Let's talk. You know, he wanted me to realize that it was okay, and he was just Matthew, just Maddie, you know, and that's what he was. And there was this bench. There was a bench outside of our stages, our dressing rooms at CBS Radford, and that's where Matthew would sit and smoke his little cigarettes. And so if you ever wanted to have like a little heart-to-heart with him or talk to him about something, you can always just go to his office and sit with him. That bench just reminds me so much of Matthew, and he just was a regular guy. He just really was. He was a regular guy thrust into stardom at 24 and who had to face demons.
Is there a memory or moment of your time working together or just your friendship that really stands out to you?
Matthew needed a ride home from set. And I got to ride with him for like 40 minutes, and we just talked about life. And he told me about growing up and his career and what he's learned and what he learned through addiction. And I will hold that special conversation I had with him when we first met close to my heart for the rest of my life, because I feel like I got a taste of who he really, really was.
That's really wonderful, and I'm glad you do have that memory. You know, we were neighbors when you guys shot that show at CBS Radford, so we were on your set many, many times, and we dug up a little something that we wanted to show you today.
Okay.
Well, I want to ask you, this is a very important question. Are you ready?
Wait a second.
Okay, let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
What is your favorite part about working with me?
My favorite part about working with Yvette is, well, she's very funny.
Oh, thank you. Is she?
She knows her way around a joke perfectly. It's amazing that you are able to do the job considering how little memorizing you do.
It's true. I never memorize my lines.
Little pieces of paper all over the place.
All over the place. I showed them my drawer where I hide my scripts. I'm not off book until they say action, and sometimes not even then.
Yeah, sometimes you have like 2 lines in the scene.
And I still don't know them.
She forgets them.
Yeah.
So that's probably a negative.
Yeah.
So let's focus on the positive. She's very warm-hearted and I think honest with children.
Yes, I am honest with children, but only children.
Yeah.
Only children.
Oh no, she lies a lot. But with somebody under 12, very honest.
Very honest.
And open.
Yeah. This is, working with you has been one of the greatest joys of my life.
Is that true?
I really adore you, and I am grateful for my job, and not in the funny way I always say it. I'm very grateful for my job, and I just adore you.
I'm sorry. He was. I'm sorry.
You don't have to apologize.
That was Matthew. And that was our relationship.
I was going to say, you could tell that there was genuine chemistry and friendship and connection just in that little clip.
He was lovely. He was really lovely.
How do you plan to honor him and, keep him with you?
What I hope this conversation does is that it humanizes him beyond his struggles, and that people can see the man behind the comedic legend, and that we can celebrate that his hope and joy was helping others to survive what he fought for most of his life. And that's the most important thing. There was an interview he did towards the end of his life when he was doing the book tour, and he said he didn't want Friends to be the first thing that people talked about. He wanted his work to help those who were addicted to be the first thing that people talked about. So I wanted to do this interview to remind people that that's what he wants his legacy to be. The fact that he used his pain to help others is what matters.
When we lose someone leaves us in the physical, we sit and we say, I wish I would have, or I wish I would have been able to say. It sounds to me like you actually took those opportunities and said the things to him that you always wanted to say.
I have sadness that he's gone. I have sadness that I didn't reach out as much as I should have, but I don't have sadness about Matthew knowing that I loved him. And I don't have sadness about me letting the world know that I loved him. As I was going back finding pictures to send you guys, there was a picture that I took of him. It's one of my favorite pictures of him. We were on set and he just is looking over his shoulder at my camera, and he was scruffy and he was, probably tired. We'd probably been up late working or whatever. And it was my favorite picture of him because it was him, just him.
Yeah.
And I want to remember him like that. I want to remember him like that. I know that he knew that I loved him.
Is there something about him that fans would be surprised to learn, that we would be surprised to learn?
He was the kind of guy that would eat like a chili dog at like noon. Anybody over 40 eating a chili dog at noon, you don't care about your digestive system or anyone around you. We would come in and go, it was almost like, what is he eating today? And then he would go on a health food kick where it's like, bring it, nothing but smoothies and salads and whatever. But then it would always be back to the chili dogs.
I love that so much. So what do you hope at the end of the day his legacy is?
I hope he's remembered as a fighter. I hope he's remembered as someone that never gave up hope. I hope that he's remembered as cliche as the word is, a friend, So I hope that when people think of him, they'll smile. That's what I hope.